heard stories, you know. Sent 3 home in an ambulance. The rest in body bags.
No wonder the cops want him dead.
Hey, you ever seen him?
Yeah, Gotham Zoo. With all the other flying animals.
Lately, there's been a lot of subpar Batman movies to come out, not including some of the awesome animated ones, but just finishing the first Batman Telltale game, I gotta say, it was one of the freshest Batman stories I've seen so far, dealing with Harvey Dent and the Children of Arkham and a bunch of other really awesome twists on the series as a whole.
It's the Waynes. They're behind all this. What do you mean?
But to start, I gotta say, I don't know anything how this compares to the events in the comic books, so just take it easy on me for a second. Batman the Telltale series does an amazing job at pacing and actually developing the characters, in my opinion, with characters like Harvey Dent being shown as a new shining hope for the city and slowly leading down a trail of madness that I thought was just a fantastic way to actually set up a character like Harvey Dent instead of his girlfriend dying and his face getting scorched and then, you know, he's sad and he's got a coin and the coin's burnt now.
Are you volunteering, Deborah?
But Harvey in this story, and a lot of the game actually, deals with mental health as you watch him shuffling between personalities and not even be able to control himself, turning him into a madman. But watching him throughout the episodes was a blast to watch unfold and does a great job at actually making you care about what's happening to Harvey. Even though from start I could tell he was just another slipping politician in Gotham, it seems that everybody in that city is just a giant asshole, always just working for themselves. Everyone's always talking about how Gotham's gotta change and that there's a new beam of light for the city.
Promise you, a vote for Harvey Dent is a vote to finally put your foot down. And together, we can stamp out the fire and save our great city.
Batman deals with an awesome turn of events, though, showing Thomas Wayne was actually one of the biggest gangsters in all of Gotham, and not a respectable one, mind you.
Give her the drug.
Thomas, we're friends. Our boys play together.
You were warned, Esther. You know I always get what I want. Commence the procedure. Give her a dose she won't come back from.
You'll find out that Arkham Asylum is also part of this, as Thomas was just using it to drug and lock up people that wronged him for the rest of their lives. And just being a twisted man in general, working with Falcone trying to put out a hit on Martha when she found out. This all includes Oswald Cobblepot's mom, as he threw her in the facility and drugged her into like a coma or something, or just straight up made her crazy with drugs. But most of the series is actually pretty dark, as Batman smashes heads into concrete slabs or investigates murder scenes with actual dismembered limbs and all that good stuff. I personally found this darker take on the Batman series, at least for the movie or video game ones, pretty awesome, with the fight scenes making me feel like a testosterone-filled wrecking ball, just decimating henchmen left and right, but also letting the story go a little further, as some of the origins to the new villains are pretty dark on their own.
It's some kind of torture chamber. Shackles, belts, blood. What?
You'll be dealing with the Children of Arkham mostly in this game, though, as Bruce Wayne's childhood friend, Oswald Cobblepot, just shows up out of nowhere for a meeting to let Bruce know that the revolution is coming, and not to be disappointed when he loses everything, and Bruce kind of does end up losing everything. The respect of the people with his first Twitter scandal.
Wayne, Mr. Wayne, is all your money dirty?
Is the Wayne family legacy built on lies?
Did you know about this, Bruce?
How long has your family been dealing with Falcone?
Finding out the Wayne's entire foundation was built on what Batman was trying to stop this entire time, actually being tied to the Falcone gang. Oz himself is a pretty great character. This game seems to be before he officially became Penguin. I was a little disappointed not to see Danny DeVito, but we can only hope for the future, I guess. Come on, we need to get Danny DeVito in games. They got Keanu Reeves, they got the chick from Juno. There's just so many of them now. But Oz is working with the Arkham group. They just want to make the Waynes pay for what they've done to the people in the Arkham Asylum. And while their motivations kind of seem to be okay, the way they want to handle it just seems to be the same way with every villain, to just make the city turn on itself and blah blah blah, the ritual fall, and all that hooey.
We are the children of Arkham. We are here to end the masquerade and expose the corruption at root in your city.
But they're using a new drug that takes away any impulse control, making anyone incredibly vulnerable, like Police Officer Montoya, gunning down a suspect in rage after he kills one of her friends and a couple others. Catwoman is also a pretty big role in this game, being a love interest for Bruce Wayne, but also a really enjoyable character, constantly stealing Batman's gadgets for her own plans and swindling Harvey Dent's heart and possibly contributing to Harvey's downfall. Catwoman and pretty much every character in this game has really good voice acting and writing, other than Alfred. While I do like Alfred Alfred's presence in this game, he just will not ever shut the up about how he wants Bruce to be able to live a safe life, or how he's worried about what he's going to become, and always using little metaphors. I don't know what he wants. Maybe a little breakfast nook where he can just sit and watch Bruce read a book all day or something. Bruce Wayne cripples people as a hobby, Alfred. You know? Like, get over it, dude. And I don't care what Bruce thinks. Smashing people's faces and throwing them into cars, and one scene where he punches a merc with a metal mask until it literally cracks in half. Goddamn, this Batman is he's so ruthless and cool. But yeah, he can say he's not killing people, but that may be a fate worse. But I was impressed as this Batman tale actually addresses what Batman's doing as Alfred and the news remind Bruce he's putting people in hospitals. You'll also be doing actual investigations where you walk around the room linking evidence and objects together to see what's happened, or plan out an attack strategy to take out an entire room of enemies within the course of like 10 seconds, and it's actually can be pretty goddamn impressive when you play it out. If you played a Telltale game, you should know, though, it's not like you're actually doing anything except clicking buttons and whatnot, but in my opinion, Telltale does a pretty good job at making small things interesting with character and dialogue and all their cinematics and stuff. Some of the stuff that I think when I watch or play anything Batman is, how does nobody know it's Bruce Wayne when he's literally the only one with that kind of money to support technology that the government doesn't even have yet? Let alone his entire face from like the nose down is exposed. Do you think one of his friends in real life, like Gordon or Vicky Vale, one of the news reporters you'll come to know throughout the game, would eventually just recognize his face, at least a little bit, let alone his constant unknown whereabouts? And Batman, if you choose constantly, you can defend Bruce Wayne about his family and criminal past, and it's just like, how does nobody put this together? Goddamn, right? I've had this game sitting in my library for quite some time now. I wasn't sure what to expect. I really love Telltale games, but being a superhero one, I wasn't sure if it was going to be like real cartoony and friendly and whatnot, and I didn't want that. But now I regret not playing it sooner, because this really was, in my opinion, one of my favorite Batman stories. Still harping on the same things it always does, but also changing things up. It makes it feel like a movie. It really keeps things moving, so you're not just roaming around in a building for 20 minutes looking for a sticky note with an address on it or something, but actually using all of its 5 episodes to constantly set up the next thing, and also giving you some awesome things to think about on the side, with one of my favorite parts about this game, where Bruce is actually sent to Arkham Asylum, and you meet a mysterious John Doe that just made me smile. He just kind of foreshadows the future the whole time, and just generally being the most fun character in the game to talk to.
Excellent. We'll have loads of fun. You'll see.
It really makes me excited to play the next season of this. I already bought it. It's gonna be badass. One more thing that kind of threw me off is eventually Harvey becomes mayor, or at least almost does, and he recruits a ton of armed guards to watch over the city, right? But as he loses control over himself and changes back and forth between personalities, the guards just continue to let him do what he's doing, literally like tearing the city apart, never questioning if you should be listening to this guy. But I guess it's supervillain henchman, so I guess I don't know what I'm thinking, but like, he's the mayor. I mean, it was a mayorly thing. It was for the city, and they're just letting him destroy it. I'm thinking too much. For the ending, I won't spoil it, but I thought it was pretty great, especially the last fight scene and the conversations that played out felt satisfying and complete. Not just a total setup for a new game, which I appreciated with a lot of games doing that every title. But now that I played it, I think if you're into Batman or Telltale or Quantic Dream type games, quick time event games, story-driven games and shit, you should definitely try it out. It's a pretty solid story and just fun to watch if you want something simple yet awesome to play, with a lot of new story elements to the base Batman formula in Wilmot. But I hope you guys enjoyed this installment of Back of the Box. I hope I'm doing these alright. I get really nervous about them, but thank you so much for watching them. Let me know what you think in the comments, homie. Maybe dislike the video, maybe like it. Play some Batman.